It's the day after a big snowstorm hit. We got like 3 feet of snow. Let's go fly around and see what the deer are doing today. I can see some tracks here with the thermal. Some right there and some right there. Let's go to the camera. You can see them right there. Got a deer right here. Let's check it out. Just browsing. Alright. Let's see. There's another deer right there. Let's get a little lower on this one. Okay, look how deep that snow is. See the tracks in the pines? This is where I thought the deer would be. Look at all the tracks in the pines here. This is where I thought the deer would go because protection. This snowstorm was huge. Yeah, look at that. This is more deer activity in these pines than what I've ever seen. Just shows you what the deer would do to help get out of the storm. Obviously in the pines there's going to be some protection from the snow, and also the snow won't get as deep. Yeah, look at this. Another deer here. Yeah, this is more, again, this is more activity in these pines than I've ever seen. I mean, this might be a bed or it's a deer. That's a deer hiding. Bedded down in those pines. You can see head moving right there. That's cool. It's cool because these pines, most of the time, I feel like aren't providing much benefit for the deer. I know people will say they'll bed in there, but they really don't that much. They do sometimes, but they'd rather bed in thick timber where there's browse. In these pines, there's no browse for them, so it's just bedding. But right now, that's what they want. That's what they need, is just bedding. They'd rather be in here than, if you see, they were on the edge of the pines, just going after the browse. Can't see in there, it's too thick. It's either a deer or just the deer's bed. because the beds will show heat signature still. Potentially. Maybe with this much snow they won't. There's those same deer from before. Look at all the tracks coming from this pines to that pines. See right there? Pines over to these pines. I imagine the deer were hunkered down in there when the storm hit. Look at all the activity. And now they're just going back in there because the snow isn't as deep compared to the other parts of the timber and the fields, obviously. That's definitely a deer right there. See its head right there on the left? Right there. Looks like it's chewing on its cud. Alright, let's quickly check over some open timber area where I typically see a lot of deer. Let's see if they're over here today after this big snowstorm hit. This is an area where the snow is going to be really deep, I would imagine. Alright, here's some deer right here. Quite a few. Look how deep the snow is. Let's check out all these deer and just kind of see what they're doing. Their only real food option right now is browse, so this area must have a lot of good browse to have so many deer all bunched up together in this one little spot. Yeah, that's a lot of deer all together here. I would not want to be walking through there right now. Not seeing a lot of trails through the big open timber, which is not surprising to me. Alright, let's come back and land. So, just a quick recap. the day after a huge snowstorm hit, 3 feet of snow, and to me it looked like the deer were hunkered down during the storm and are just starting to get up and move and browse around. Not a lot of tracks. The tracks I found seemed like they were fresh because the deer. I found the tracks and then I found the deer. So, a lot of the deer in the thick pines, which is not surprising. And, yeah, kind of a cool little bit of research here.